Hi everyone, today we will be exploring West Virginia University or WVU, the institution that will eventually grant some of you who chose the 3+1 pathway their Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree. We will walk through its history, its mission, and its values. We will also look at the student handbook and the resources available to you. And most importantly, we will talk about how all of this connects to you sitting right here in this classroom at Arellano University. Before we dive in, let me share with you what we aim to accomplish by the end of this session. These are our learning objectives, so think of them as a roadmap for today. First, you will be able to describe the history, the mission, the values of WVU. Second, you will identify the key policies, the support services outlined in WVU Student Handbook. So this handbook is your guide, and knowing what is in it will save you from confusion later on. And then third, you will learn how to navigate the online and academic resources available through WVU. These tools are designed to help you succeed, and you should be using them upon transfer to WVU. And then fourth, you will be able to explain the partnership between AU-INP and WVU as well as the student transition pathway. So the 3+1 model that brought you here, and that will eventually bring you to Morgantown, West Virginia. So let us begin with the roots. West Virginia University was founded in 1867, which makes it over 150 years old. That is a long, rich history. And it all started with a very significant piece of legislation. In 1862, President Abraham Lincoln signed the Morrill Act. So this law offered land grants of 30,000 acres of federally owned land to any state that agreed to establish a college focused in agriculture and what they called the mechanic arts, which we now know as engineering. So the idea was simple but powerful: make higher education accessible to everyday citizens, not just the wealthy. So the state of West Virginia was formed just 1 year later in 1863. Shortly after, the state legislature accepted the terms of the Morrill Act and used it to establish the Agricultural College of West Virginia. So by 1868, the school was officially renamed West Virginia University. So now, why does this matter to you? So because you are to become part of an institution born from the belief that education should be accessible, practical, and transformative, which also holds true for Arellano University. So why WVU? What makes this university stand out among so many other institutions? Well, West Virginia University is not just one campus. It's a family of distinctive campuses, all united by a single mission. The flagship campus is in Morgantown, which is where your final year of the BSN program will take place. This is where groundbreaking research happens. This is where health sciences, including nursing, are at the forefront. But WVU also has WVU Potomac State in Kaiser, which focuses on career-oriented programs, and then WVU Tech in Beckley, which specializes in technology-intensive programs. Together, these campuses are leveraging their collective talents and resources to create a better future, not just for West Virginia, but for the world. West Virginia also has a unique perspective on health because it exists in a state with significant health challenges. There are rural communities with limited access to healthcare, there's high rates of chronic illness, and the ongoing opioid crisis. Well, WVU does not shy away from these realities. Instead, it uses them as fuel for its mission. So their primary mission is to improve the health and well-being of everyone they serve by cultivating exceptional health professionals, solving real problems, and caring for people and communities. Now, WVU is home to the state's only comprehensive academic health sciences. This is a place where educators, healthcare professionals, and scientists work together or together side by side to advance human health. And here's what I want you to appreciate. WVU collaborates with communities to build a culture of health, well-being, and hope, and then partners with health professionals across West Virginia to allow the university to conduct community-based research addressing addiction, chronic illness, rural health, and health policy. So as future nurses, you will be trained in this philosophy. You will not just learn to treat patients, but also you will learn to serve communities. Now, this slide captures the heart of WVU's Health Sciences Center, and I want you to pay close attention because this directly shapes the kind of nurses you will become. WVU believes that its role as an academic health center is to solve real problems and transform lives across the five health schools that includes nursing and numerous centers and institutes. Their work is woven through the four pillars. As you can see, there's excellence in education, there's research, service, and patient care. Now, as students, you will benefit from the opportunity to work alongside world-class practitioners and scientists. You will participate in research, which is not which means it's not a passive learning environment. It encourages curiosity, fosters innovation, and also champions patient-centric care. And then WV also partners with hospitals, with clinics, community organizations across the state so that students can get hands-on experience and unique training through rotations, residencies, and other educational opportunities, and on the front lines of patient care. Then there is what we call interprofessional education. So in the classroom, we will engage in immersive, skill-based learning with the students from other disciplines like pharmacy, there's medicine, public health, preparing you to work as a collaborative practice team. Because of course, in the real world, patient care is never done in isolation. It takes a team. That's the environment you are being prepared for. And it starts right now in how you approach your studies here at AU-INP. WVU's Health Sciences operates across three campuses, and each one plays a distinct role. In Charleston, there is a regional campus where students train at the Charleston Area Medical Center, located in the state's capital. So this gives students exposure to a large medical center in an urban setting. And in the Eastern Division, there is community-centered approach to education with a focus on rural health. This is important because much of West Virginia is rural, and the health challenges in those communities are also unique and pressing. Then the Morgantown, you will find the largest concentration of healthcare. There's research and health professions resources in all of West Virginia. So this is where the main school of nursing is also located. And this is where you will complete your final year. Now, let me give you the numbers because they tell a compelling story. So WVU Health Sciences is home to one academic health center that houses all five health sciences schools. That includes dentistry, medicine, nursing, pharmacy, and public health. These five schools under one roof working together. There are also over 60 degree and certificate programs at the bachelor's, master's, and doctorate levels, and over 80 residency and fellowship programs in all those that I've mentioned. And then currently there are 3,892 students, an increase of 350 since 2019, and 600 residents, an increase of 200 since 2018. And then over 1,500 new faculty have been recruited since 2016. So it means the community is really growing. And then WB has also more than 60 research labs that have been awarded more than $100 million in grants. And here is something that speaks to the culture. So most students, including you will need to complete 100 community service hours. This is not just about academics. So it's about giving back to the community. So these numbers are not just statistics. They represent the vibrancy of the community you are joining. So you are not enrolling in a small unknown program. You are becoming part of a thriving, nationally recognized academic health center. And now, when it comes to research and treatment, WVU is tackling some of the most challenging health problems of our time. Understanding and eliminating these problems requires specialists and researchers who collaborate across disciplines and with industry partners. So WVU is also advancing care like in Alzheimer's disease, there's cancer research and treatment, heart and vascular care. There's also development of strategies to combat the opioid crisis. So this is just a walkthrough of some of the key institutes and centers. So there you have it. That's the WVU Cancer Institute, WVU Critical Care and Trauma. There's for Heart and Vascular, the Rockefeller Neuroscience, the Eye Institute. There's the Center for Disabilities, Clinical and Translation Science Institute, and the Prevention Research Center, among many others. So why am I telling you all this? Because as nursing students, you may eventually find yourselves working in or alongside this very institute. So whether in clinical rotations or in your future career, these are the kinds of specialized centers where nurses play a critical role. Now, here is something I want you to take real pride in. So, WVU is designated as an R1 doctoral university by the Carnegie Classification of Institutes of Higher Education. So, that means it operates at the highest level of research activity in the country. So, WVU is one of only 5 flagship R1 land grant community engaged universities in the United States. Its health sciences laboratories alone are attracting the best and the brightest talent from around the world, especially within the country. Then the university is also breaking down barriers between academic disciplines, schools, and colleges to build multidisciplinary research teams that address different or important health problems. And here's what is particularly exciting for students at WVU. Graduate and undergraduate students are key members of laboratory teams. So they do collaborate with and learn from established scientists. So once you arrive at the Morgantown campus for your final year, know that you're not just attending classes, you are entering a research intensive environment where curiosity is valued and students are active participants in the discovery. Now let us talk about WVU Medicine, so which is WVU's affiliated health system. WVU Medicine is West Virginia's largest private employer and the national leader in patient safety and quality. So think about that for a moment. The health system attached to your university is the biggest private employer in the entire state. So here are the numbers. So 23 member system hospitals. There's about 28,620 employees. Over 400 medical residents and fellows. 3.8 million clinic visits annually. 94,215 surgeries and 6,954 births. This is not a small operation. So this is a comprehensive, statewide health system where you may very well complete your clinical rotations during your final year. The scale of exposure available to you is remarkable, and because WVU Medicine is directly affiliated with the university, usually students would have seamless connection between what you learn in the classroom and what you experience in the clinical setting. Your instructors are often the same practitioners caring for patients in this hospital. So that integration of education and practice is what will make you a well-prepared nurse. And then this is one of my favorite slides to discuss because it addresses something every nursing student worries about. Am I ready to care for a real patient? So WVU answers that concern with the David and Joanne Shaw Center for Simulation Training and Education for Patient Safety, or simply known as the STEP Center. It is a state-of-the-art facility designed to let you practice in safe, controlled environment before you ever touch a real patient. So here's the breakdown. So there's over 20,000 square feet of instructional space, a 20-bed open lab space, 4 ICU setups with lifelike mannequins. And when I say lifelike, I mean these mannequins can simulate breathing, the heart rhythms, and even respond to your interventions. So there are 12 exam rooms for physical diagnosis and communication practice, and 3 specialty units covering OB, there's pediatric practice and operating room, and surgical education. We're very fortunate to have visited this last time when we went to West Virginia. The philosophy here is simple: practice before you practice. You will make mistakes in simulation so that you can be confident and competent when it counts to real patients. So this facility will be part of your experience during your final year at WV. So that's something to look forward to. It is where theory becomes action. Now, in healthcare, no single profession works alone. So, nurses in particular work with physicians, with pharmacists, social workers, physical therapy, therapists, and many others. So, WVU understands this deeply. So, which is why interprofessional education, or simply known as IPE, is a central part of the student experience. So, IPE provides students with unique opportunities to engage in immersive, skill-based learning with peers and from other disciplines. So the goal is to prepare you to work as a collaborative practice team. So look at the numbers from just fall 2022. There are 593 learners in competency sessions, 324 community action poverty simulation, then 250 in project delivery of chronic care, 173 in the interdisciplinary education apartment simulation or ideas, 157 in rounding experiences, and 10 in transitions of care. So each of these experiences teaches you something different, from understanding poverty and its impact on health, practicing how to communicate during patient rounds with a multidisciplinary team. As AU-INP student, you are already developing your clinical knowledge here. But when you get to WVU, IPE will add another layer. So learning to communicate, to collaborate, to lead within the team. So that is what modern nursing demands. Okay, so now let us transition to the BSN program handbook for academic year 2025-2026. So this is the official document that governs your academic journey in the WVU School of Nursing. Let's talk about the mission. So the mission focuses on what the school does. It improves health through excellent student-centered programs and evidence-based teaching, scholarship, and service. It is action-oriented. It is about delivery. Now, the vision focuses on where the school is going, improving the quality of life across all populations by addressing social determinants of health through nurse-led initiatives in policy, in education, research, service, and practice. It is aspirational. It is about the impact. So as first year students, your job right now is to align with the mission to fully engage with the excellent, the student-centered program laid out to you. And then as you grow in your career, you will embody the vision, leading initiatives that address the root across of health, across all of those, and then also the root causes of health disparities. So this is the arc of your professional development, and it begins right here. Then every institution is defined by its values, and the WVU School of Nursing is no exception. So let me read this to you because each one, I want each one to resonate with the WVU School of Nursing. So the WVU School of Nursing values integrity, excellence, there's compassion, respect, and engagement, and inclusivity. So let's break down in the context of nursing. So when you say integrity, it means doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. That would that could be seen when you do your charting, reporting errors honestly, advocating for your patients. And then excellence means striving for the highest standard in everything you do. So from coursework to your clinical skills. Then compassion, that's the heart of nursing. It is what drives you to provide care that goes beyond the physical. And then respect. Respect means honoring the dignity of every person. That includes your patients, their families, your colleagues, and of course, even yourself. And then engagement means being actively present in your education and your practice. You do not just show up, you participate. And then lastly, inclusivity. It means creating a space where everyone feels welcome, they're valued, regardless of their background, their culture, or identity. So WVU School of Nursing commits to addressing the unique needs of its students and populations, creating an environment where individuality is encouraged, ethics are prioritized, and learning, discovery, and innovation can flourish. Now, WVU School of Nursing offers four pathways to earn a BSN. So we have the traditional BSN program, which is a standard four-year path. And then the accelerated BSN or ABSN program. This is designed for students who already hold a bachelor's degree in another field. And then the RN to BSN program for registered nurses who want to advance their education. And lastly, the LPN to BSN program for licensed practical nurses seeking to become registered nurses. Now, for you as AU-INP students, your pathway is unique. You follow the 3+1 curriculum model, so 3 years at AU-INP, and then completing the WVU's BSN curriculum. Then one final year at their Morgantown campus to complete the program and earn your degree. So this means you're already in the BSN program. So the courses you are taking now are WVU courses. So the standards you are being held to are also WVU standards. You are not preparing for the program. You are already in it. Now, your BSN curriculum is not designed in a vacuum. It is guided by nationally and internationally recognized professional nursing standards. So let me walk you through them. So first, the AACN Essentials from 2021. So this defined competencies expected for all nursing graduates. Then second, the NCSPN NCLEX RN test plan from 2024. So this is the blueprint for the licensure examination you will take after graduation. So that's why the examinations at the AUI and are also parallel to the NCLEX type questions. And then third, the ANA Code of Ethics from 2025. This outlines ethical obligations of every nurse. Fourth, the National RN-TBS and Faculty Forum Position Statement from 2022. Then you have the International Nursing Association for Clinical Simulation and Learning, or the INACSL standards. And then sixth, the West Virginia Board of Registered Nurses Policy Standards and Criteria for Evaluation. So why does this matter to you? Because it means your education meets the highest national standards. When you graduate with a WVU BSN, employers and licensing boards will recognize that your preparation is rigorous, current, and comprehensive. So these standards also guide how your courses are structured, how your clinical experiences are designed, and how you are assessed. So everything, all of this has their purpose. Let us now look at what a graduate of the WVU School of Nursing BSN program will be able to do. So these are the program outcomes, and they describe the nurse you will become by the time you finish. Now, for outcome number one, you will integrate knowledge and theories from nursing and other disciplines to form the basis for clinical judgment and innovation in nursing practice. So, in a simpler terms, you will not just know facts, you will know how to think. Outcome two, you will evaluate evidence-based, inclusive, equitable, and compassionate nursing care for diverse individuals, families, and communities. So this means you will be able to look at the care being provided and assess whether it is based on the best available evidence, whether it is fair, it's inclusive, and whether it is delivered with compassion. So these first two outcomes set the foundation. They are about number one, thinking critically, and second, caring broadly. Now, for outcome number three, you will engage in collaborative partnerships with communities, public health, and other industries to address social determinants of health and improve health outcomes. So, this is about looking beyond the hospital walls. You will partner with communities, organizations, and public health agencies to address these root causes. Then outcome number four, you will utilize evidence-based nursing interventions, information and communication technologies to drive decisions that enhance quality of care, reduce risk potential, and improve health outcomes in accordance with regulatory standards and health policy. This one is dense, but let me simplify. You will use technology and evidence to make better decisions to keep patients safe. So, in today's healthcare environment, informatics and health technology are really non negotiable skills. So, both of these outcomes would push you to think beyond individual patient care toward population health and system level improvement. And then for outcome number five, you will collaborate with interprofessional teams, families, and communities to support the acquisition of shared knowledge and expertise to optimize communication and the healthcare experience to strengthen health outcomes. Remember our discussion about interprofessional education. So this outcome is the result of that training. You will become a nurse who communicates effectively across disciplines, who values the expertise of others, and who places the patient at the center of every conversation. And then outcome number six, you will coordinate nursing resources within complex systems to promote safe, quality, and equitable care to diverse populations. So as a PSN prepared nurse, you will be able to navigate that complexity, would allocate resources wisely, and ensure that care remains safe, high quality, and equitable for every patient, regardless of who they are. So these outcomes are about leadership and systems thinking skills that distinguish a BSN nurse from others. For outcome number seven, you will model behaviors that reflect accountability, integrity, and characteristics that align with professional and ethical nursing standards. So, this is about your character as a professional Nursing is a profession built on trust. So patients trust you with their lives, their bodies, and their most vulnerable moments. You must be accountable for your actions, you're honest in practice, of course, ethical in your decision as always. Then for outcome number 8, you will practice in activities and self-reflection that foster personal health and resilience to support well-being, the acquisition of nursing expertise, your leadership development, and lifelong learning. So this one is about you, your wellness, your growth, your sustainability as a professional. So nursing is demanding. If you do not take care of yourself, it's like what I've mentioned, you cannot take care of others, right? So WVU wants you to develop resilience, to engage in self reflection, and also to commit to lifelong learning. Now, for the program handbook, I strongly encourage you to read this handbook thoroughly, although most of it, if not all, have been discussed during orientation, so including those that are listed on this slide. So do not wait until you have a problem to find out what the rules are. Be proactive, you know your rights, know your responsibilities, and also your options. And at the end of this presentation, once you have read the handbook, you will be required to sign the undergraduate handbook page as an acknowledgement that you have understood the policies. We are now moving on into one of the most practical parts of today's discussion, student resources. As a future WVU student, there are numerous resources available to support your academic success, your physical health, your mental well-being, and most of all, your overall student experience. So let me walk you through what WVU offers. First, let us talk about campus safety. This is very timely. So when you arrive at WVU's Morgantown campus for your final year, of course, your safety will be a priority. So WVU has its own university police department, and they offer training courses designed to equip you with valuable self-defense and communication skills. These include active shooter training, the protect training for identifying threats, and applying self-defense. There's also verbal de-escalation training for managing tense situations and an online safety training. So the university's commitment to safety means providing you with the knowledge and resources to protect yourself throughout your journey. So this is especially important for international students who may be adjusting to a new environment. So when the time comes for your transition, you have to familiarize yourself with these resources early. So safety is not something to figure out after an emergency. It is something you prepare for. Nursing school is intellectually and emotionally demanding. Of course, there will be days when the workload feels overwhelming, when homesickness hits, or when you simply need someone to talk to. WVU as the Caruth Center for this purpose. So this center offers well-being resources including Let's Chat, which provides on-demand consultation services. There's also resources for self-help, both on campus and online. The video wellness resources, including guided meditations and tips for prepping for finals. There's also the Better Mind online therapy, which gives students access to 6 free teletherapy sessions and virtual mental health workshops. I want to be very direct with you. So, seeking mental health support is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of self awareness and maturity. Like, I can't emphasize this more than enough. The best nurses take care of themselves so they can take care of others. So whether you are at AU-INP right now or later at WVU, you make sure your well-being is always a priority. Then WVU also provides accommodations for students who need additional support to succeed. The tagline says it all. Get the help you need to accomplish anything. So there are three main accommodations available. So academic accommodations, which include assistive technology, testing accommodations, captioning, and interpreting services. So if you have a learning difference or a documented disability, you have the right to request support. And you have your housing accommodations for students who have needs that require special housing arrangements. If you need something specific when you move to Morgantown, this office can help. And then the transportation accommodations, which includes a shuttle service between buildings and WVU campuses to ease mobility. So the key takeaway here is that WVU is committed to creating an equitable learning environment for all students. So if you ever need the help, ask for it. So the resources are there. Now, not everything is about studying and clinical. So student life at WVU is vibrant, and one of the most unique offerings is Adventure WV. So WVU is located in West Virginia. It's a state known for its stunning natural landscapes, mountains, rivers, forests. So Adventure WV organizes guided day and weekend trips that allow you to explore these places, gain new skills, meet people, and simply have fun. So activities include backpacking, there's kayaking, climbing, hiking, bicycling, skiing, zip lining, and more. There are also international trips, extended break trips, and an adventure learning living community. So I mentioned this because when you transition to Morgantown, and of course adjusting to a new country can be challenging. So programs like Adventure WV gives you a way to build friendships, maybe de-stress, and create memories outside the classroom. Work hard, but also you make time to enjoy where you are. West Virginia is beautiful, and these experiences will enrich your time there. Now, here is a resource that many students may not expect from a university, the RAC, which is WVU Student Food Pantry. The RAC provides non-perishable and perishable food items to all WVU students who may be in need of assistance. Its mission is to alleviate hunger and foster a healthy, inclusive community by providing access to food and programs. So this service is open to all currently enrolled students at WVU. So you simply bring your WVU student ID and of course a bag to carry your items. I bring this up because of course the transition to living in the United States can come up with unexpected financial pressures. So knowing that these resources exist and that there is absolutely no shame in using it can make a real difference during a difficult week. So WVU takes care of its students, both practical and concrete ways, and that includes making sure no student goes hungry. Then your physical health matters just as much as your academic performance. When WVU has a dedicated student health center that provides comprehensive healthcare services to students. When you arrive at WVU, one of the first things you should do is familiarize yourself with the student health services, where it is located, how to make appointments, and what is covered. So let's watch the short clip.
You'll first encounter student health likely at your freshman orientation. During this time, we offer you an option to go ahead and pre-register within our WVU medicine system. This allows us to obtain your information upfront and maybe even when your parent's available to provide you with additional insurance information or things that you may not have. This also allows you to pre-register for My WVU chart, which is the online system where you can access your appointments, your lab results, your x-ray results, and communicate with your provider. Student Health is located on the Evansdale campus, right across from the rec center. There's easy parking outside that is validated every time you have an appointment. and it's also close to the engineering and Evansdale PRT stops. Student health is open all year long. We do have shortened hours occasionally in the summer or through holiday breaks. We're open Monday through Friday. We always open at 9 a.m. and throughout the school year we close at 7 p.m. We've made it easy where you can walk in for most things. There are some things such as mental health and travel appointments that you would want to make ahead of time just so you can establish with that provider and maintain a consistent relationship. Like your family physician at home, student health does require health insurance. Most major health insurances are accepted at student health and within WVU medicine. If students do not have their own insurance or are currently on their parents' insurance plan, we do offer a insurance plan through Aetna that any student can sign up for. When student health is closed on nights or on the weekend or holidays, our staff also works at WVU Urgent Care, and that's located in the Suncrest Town Center. There is convenient parking, and also the Mountain Line bus can drop the students off there. So it's still a convenient option for any acute care needs. During pre-registration, you can also assign a parent or someone else to give them access to your information. So if a parent were to call and ask for information and they do not legally have access to your chart, that information will not be provided. Often it's difficult to know whether you should seek primary care, urgent care, or emergency care. The main difference between urgent care and the emergency room is what you have life-threatening? Could it cause a fatality? Is it severe enough that it cannot be taken care of in the clinic? With school also comes stress. And getting good sleep, having a good diet, and getting regular physical activity also helps improve stress and your mental well-being. Exercise definitely improves your physical and mental health, and this will help decrease any stress that you're having. For most things, we want to make it easy so that you can walk in. You can walk in from anything from a nursing visit to for a vaccine to an acute illness or injury or refill on your medication.
So that's for WVU Student Health. So WVU also offers tutoring services, and I want to share some practical tips they provide for getting the most out of this session. So first, you bring relevant course materials, your notes, homework, textbook, and syllabus. So this saves time and keeps the session focused. Then second, attempt the homework before the session. So when you have already tried, you can pinpoint exactly where you got confused and the tutor can target those areas specifically. Third, be ready to engage. So tutoring is not a lecture. It is interactive. So come with goals and be prepared to participate actively. And fourth, have realistic expectations. So mastering difficult materials takes time. Most students need more than one session, and that is completely normal. So if you are struggling, for example, with a course, whether it's anatomy, pharmacology, or another subject, do not wait until you are failing to seek help. So use tutoring early and often. It is a sign of commitment, not weakness. So here is something that makes WVU truly one of a kind, the Personal Rapid Transit System, or the PRT. The PRT is WVU's unique people mover, and it's an automated transport system that connects students, faculty, the staff, and community members to different parts of the campus. Morgantown's campus is spread across different areas, and the PRT makes it easy to get from one to another quickly. So think of it as a small automated train system just for the university. It is a practical, efficient way to get around, especially on days when the weather is cold or you have back-to-back classes on different parts of the campus. When you get to Morgantown, you will definitely ride the PRT. It is part of the WV experience, and honestly, it is something students come to love. Then for physical fitness, it's an important part of student well-being. And WVU Student Recreation Center is designed to help you stay active. So the facility boasts 17,000 square feet of fitness and weight equipment. There's a 50-foot climbing wall. There's two swimming pools, seven gym courts. So whether you enjoy lifting weights, swimming laps, playing basketball, or trying something new like rock climbing, there's something for everyone. So exercise, it's one of the best tools for managing stress. And nursing school will give you plenty of stress to manage. So I encourage you to build physical activity into your routine, not as an afterthought, but as a priority. Again, I could not emphasize this enough. A healthy nurse is an effective nurse. So you have to start building those habits now. And then they also have the Mountain Lair Student Union, affectionately called the Lair by students. It has been the heart of student life at WVU since 1968. It houses food options, the shops, an information center, a post office, and then there's lounges for relaxing between classes and a games area. So you can see here with 16 bowling lanes, there's billiard tables, table tennis, and video arcade games. So this is where you could grab your lunch between classes, meet friends, study in a casual environment, or simply just taking a break. It is the social hub of the campus. Of course, adjusting to a new country is much easier when you have familiar, comfortable spaces to relax it. So the lair will likely become one of your go-to spots. And then here's another look at the STEP Center in action. So what you see here are nursing students just like you will be working together, practicing their skills, and learning in a collaborative, supportive environment. So this is what your final year will look like. Simulation labs, clinical partnerships, teamwork, and hands-on learning. So the smiles on their faces tell you something important. So the work is hard, but it's also deeply rewarding. So let's watch this, another short clip. Practice before you practice. Now, let us talk about what brought you here, the partnership between Aurelian University International Nursing Program and the WVU School of Nursing. So, WVU established a 3+1 partnership with AU-INP to continue providing and enhancing nursing education within West Virginia's borders and abroad. This program originally launched at Alderson Broaddus University in 2005. And then, however, in December 2023, WVU School of Nursing stepped up and offered a teach out for the international nursing students. Now, Arellano University recognized the quality of education and support that WVU provided. So they selected WVU School of Nursing as a new partner institution to continue the program. So I know you already know this, but here's how it works. So this is a 3+1 curriculum. You complete the first 3 years of WVU's BSN curriculum right here in the Philippines at Arellano University. Then you transfer to WVU School of Nursing, Morgantown campus to complete your final year of the program in the United States. And then upon completion, you earn a Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree from West Virginia University. So take your coursework here seriously. What you are building now is the foundation for everything that comes next. And there you have it. So let's go. That is the Mountaineer rallying cry, and it will be yours too. So today you are first year nursing students, but in a few years you will be BSN prepared registered nurses with a degree from WVU. So the journey is demanding, as I've mentioned, but the destination is extraordinary. So study hard, you take care of each other, you use your resources, and never lose sight of why you choose or you chose nursing in the first place.